We'll go ahead and get started. I am Dr. Wesley Lyons. I'm a veterinarian working for a company called Pipestone Veterinary Services. I am specifically a large animal veterinarian, and within that realm, a food animal veterinarian working exclusively with pigs. So 100% of what I do is clinical medicine for pig farmers, and I work in multiple states in the Midwest. So I work, as I mentioned, for a company called Pipestone Veterinary Services. We are a large full-service veterinary clinic with locations in a few different states. So we have our home office in Pipestone, Minnesota. We have an office in Orange City, Iowa, Ottumwa, Iowa, Independence, Iowa, DeKalb, Illinois, where I live, and then an office in Rensselaer, Indiana as well. We are mostly a swine-oriented clinic. We have 29 swine veterinarians that operate in multiple states. I personally see clients in Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, and Missouri, and Wisconsin. And so we work with family farmers, and our whole business model is helping the farmers of today create the farms of tomorrow. And so I grew up on a family farm myself. I grew up on a beef cattle operation in a town called Paris, Tennessee. I went to the University of Tennessee for my undergraduate career with a bachelor's of science in animal science. So 4 years there, and then another 4 years at the University of Tennessee Vet School. So I'm not a native Illinoisan or Illini, but I am a fellow FFA member. I was the 2007-2008 state treasurer for Tennessee FFA. So I've got a list of questions here, but I'll take the one that Emma has started here. What advice would you give students who are interested in your career path? So for students interested in any kind of veterinary medicine, my biggest advice is to get involved early and to know what path you want to take within veterinary medicine. It's a field that is so broad. I have classmates from my veterinary class who work in government. I have classmates who work for genetics companies in Asia. I have classmates who are mixed animal veterinarians, who are surgical specialists. I would say my biggest piece of advice is to get involved early and to know what types of veterinary medicine, what kind of veterinary medicine you like and what you don't really enjoy. So I had the privilege of growing up in a vet practice. My dad is a veterinarian, and so I learned really early on that I'm not cut out for small animal medicine. I have a very short attention span, as you may see from my eyes darting around everywhere looking at people passing me in this parking lot. And so surgery and those kinds of things just weren't for me. And I knew early on that food animal medicine was where I wanted to go. And so I specified on that when I got to vet school. I specialized in food animal medicine, and that has really given me the opportunities that I've had to kind of grow in this career path. What is the most gratifying part of my job and the most challenging part? I would say the most gratifying part of my job is getting to work with family farmers. And so growing up on a farm myself, growing up in a family that was largely involved in farming, it is incredibly gratifying to make sure that the family farmers that we have here in the Midwest maintain their profitability and therefore their survivability. As you know, it gets harder and harder for family farms to survive and thrive. And so the most gratifying part of my job is being able to work through a clinic like Pipestone, where our entire motto is making sure that those farmers survive and are able to make money and continue to thrive in this business. What is the most challenging part of my job? I would say the most challenging part of this job has to be the time spent away from home. Hi, Scott. So I spend quite a lot of time on the road. I travel multiple days throughout the week because being a large animal practitioner, my clients don't come to me, I go to them. And so being a practitioner in multiple states, I'm on the road pretty regularly, and that can be difficult, spending that much time away from home. Avery has a question: what's the greatest lesson I've learned throughout all my experiences, and what's something that I'm learning right now? Wow. So I learn from my clients every single day. So to say the greatest lesson that I've learned so far, I would say that one of my first mentors in this industry told me to everyday learn and everyday teach. And that is something that I thought was a kind of a silly little mantra that he would say every time we were in a barn together, every time we were interacting with clients. And I didn't pay a lot of attention to it, but I get the opportunity to be a voice for my farmers. I get the opportunity to bring information to them when I come to their farms, and vice versa. I get the opportunity to learn from them. And so I would say one of the greatest lessons that I've learned is everyday learn and everyday teach. And something that I am learning right now is, well, as you know, with the entire world being upside down, I'm learning a lot of economic challenges for my farmers. I'm learning how to try and wade through these interesting times and maintain the viability of these farmers. So we're doing things that aren't typically things that a veterinarian would do. The conversations that I'm having around finances, around liquidation of assets on their farms, those aren't things that they teach you in vet school. It's life experiences that occur kind of when you're going through troubling times with your clients. You kind of have to put your boots on and get dirty with everybody else so that you can learn those same lessons. The next question is, what are some things that you did in high school and college to help you prepare for your career? Obviously, during high school, being involved in 4-H and FFA were huge drivers for where I am today. They helped me with public communication skills, which is huge if you want to be a veterinarian. I know I had a lot of classmates in vet school who wanted to be vets because they aren't necessarily people. And that's kind of a misnomer, because the veterinarian at the end of the day has to be a people person. And so getting those communication skills through FFA will serve you well through any career that you choose, but especially in veterinary medicine, the ability to communicate effectively with your clients is huge. Scott asks, how has this pandemic affected your clients and your practice? So, my days as a swine veterinarian right now look nothing like they did as a swine veterinarian a few months ago. It has affected my clients from the sense that we have lost market access for our pigs, with packing plants being closed. We have lost the ability to move market animals on time. That's leading to us making some really difficult decisions for our animals. For our practice specifically, We have transitioned from a a medicine and production consulting practice, one that preaches best practices and preaches efficiencies on farms, to really transitioning into an area or realm where we are trying to do everything we can to help farmers literally stay alive and stay afloat. I feel very lucky to work for a company that tries to take into account the struggles that farmers are having right now. We have decreased our costs for veterinary time. We've decreased the costs for a lot of the products that our producers use to try and help ease the pain of these economic times. Because, to give you an example, for those of you who aren't in the swine industry, it takes about $100 or $140 to get a pig from birth to market. And right now, if a farmer even has a market to sell those pigs, they're making somewhere around $100. So we're losing $40 to $50 on every pig that we sell today, and that's incredibly impactful to my farmers' bottom line. So I feel fortunate that I work for a company that has the size and the wherewithal to help those farmers when we can. What is the need for large animal vets in agriculture? So there's always a need for large animal veterinarians. There are lots of veterinarians. There are new vet schools going in. I would say as a whole, the veterinary market, for the most part, seems very saturated. But that's mostly on the small animal side. We always have a need for large animals and for large animal veterinarians. And there are actually some really unique opportunities to get your vet school debts paid off if you are interested in large animal medicine and specifically interested in rural practice. The USDA has loan forgiveness programs for those vets that graduate from U.S. colleges of veterinary medicine and then go to underserved areas and do large animal veterinary practice. There's a huge need for it. So I would say if it's something that you're interested in, there will be a job for you when you graduate. Within the swine industry, we always have a need for veterinarians. We're constantly hiring. I mentioned already that we have 29 pig vets in our practice, and we have a new grad joining us in May, and we have another couple of openings for vets right now. So if it's something that you're interested in, definitely get in contact with a veterinarian and start that mentorship process. So with that, I'll take any other questions, but I've got one here for biggest piece of life and career advice. I would say that one thing that I've learned as a veterinarian is you've all probably seen the meme where it talks about, we all have the two types of friend, the one that talks us off a ledge, and the other one that hypes us up to do stupid stuff. I would say in life and in your career, you need those two types of mentors. And so my career and life advice is to gain mentorship in the area that you're passionate about, and really seek out those two types of mentors: the one that's going to keep you grounded, the one that's going to have the knowledge and wisdom to get you out of tough situations, the one who is able to share experiences and kind of pass that knowledge down to you. And then you need that mentor that's going to hype you up to do crazy stuff, the one that is going to push you to your limits, who is going to push you outside your comfort zone and who is going to make sure that, they'll put you in some uncomfortable situations, but they're always doing that to push you towards growth in your career, in your chosen career path. So get 2 mentors, a stable one and a one that's a little bit crazy. With that, I think we'll wrap up. Thank you all for joining today. I appreciate the time. You can follow me on Instagram at _hog_doc. Reach out there if you have any questions about swine medicine, about the swine industry, vet school, any of those kinds of things. Thanks so much, guys.